Live from New York, it's your friendly bearded illustrator. Ba 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 da ba da da da. All right. Whoops. Shh. So I am Christopher Bell. I am I'm aphantastic, which means I do not have a mind's eye or a visual imagination or memory, but I get by fine. It's not as bad as people seem to think. Um, but it does make it really hard for me to remember cartoons and what cartoons look like. I'm an illustrator and graphic designer by trade, um, but I almost always use references or what's sometimes called like you're building shapes out of. So I don't need to have a mind's eye. I use a pencil and paper. But here we go. I'm going to add Minnie Mouse as recommended by the chat. Thank you, thank you. I know who it is. Oddfud, Minnie Mouse. And in just a second, I will spin the wheel and we will get, then I'll do a sketch, then I'll quickly ink it, and then we'll do color, and then we'll compare it to the real cartoon and see what it is. I don't know if you guys can hear. There's an airplane. All right. Looks good. Am I on? Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, just getting the last little bits and bobs together. I don't know what. I guess. Okay, I'm going to spin it. We'll spin the wheel, we'll see what cartoon I'm going to draw from memory. Here goes. Some lemon lime seltzer. Arnold! So this is fun because you know he has a football head, right? Move it, football head. That's what Helga says all the time. This is Hey Arnold, the cartoon. This is the main character. He also has a friend, Gerald. Like what I remember most from this cartoon is they dressed up as fruit and um, it was like Halloween or some sort of party and they dressed up as fruit and then like someone threw them money. It was totally crazy. Hi, Elstefan. All right, let me get my brushes out. What is happening? Ah, this moved from the top to the bottom. The first one I'm a little slow. We're getting there, we're getting there. Here we go, got the pencil. You guys see that? Yep. Oh, a play about food groups. And then like the mafia was like, give the guys standing on this corner the money. And they're like, how will we know it's them? And they're like, you'll know. And I guess they were dressed up as fruit or something. All right. Hey, Arnold. Move it, football head. So let's see. Well, let's just start really basic. He has like a elongated football head. I think we're going to get pretty close. He's the original. Stewie Griffin grows up to be. They're like second cousins or something. That's why Stewie also has a football head. All right. And then I'm pretty sure he has a like baseball cap and like maybe little ears like that. I'm trying to think what would a Nickelodeon cartoon from that era look like. That's often how I try to draw these cartoons. And I feel like I remember a lot of cartoons having like wonky ears to the side. I'm trying to think, how do you think his baseball cap would go? Does it go across like this? Across like the whole head? Or does it sit on top? Oh, like up here. That doesn't feel right. So I think it must go across his whole head. So let's do that. We'll have it go across his whole head. There'll be like a little thing up there. Maybe it's different colors. He has a stripe. Like maybe the brim is like, well, so now we have to work on his, whoa, I've gotten a little tilted. Now we'll have to work on his eyes, his face. I'm a little, I don't know what that's gonna look like. Hmm. I mean, again, cartoons of the time, it's a little iffy. Like, does he have giant eyes like this? This doesn't feel right. Little nose, mouth. Gosh, I have no idea what his face looks like, but I don't think those eyes are right. Let's do like, so some cartoons just have like dots for eyes. That doesn't feel right. So let's do, uh, this is Hey Arnold. Drawn him from memory. I don't have a great memory. I have aphantasia. I'm trying to think what his eyes look like. I'm gonna do like, I'm gonna do these eyes. I have to like choose, and these eyes are like something that I feel comfortable drawing, so I think we'll do that. Oh, I put a shortcut in to sharpen my pencil. So I just did it, no problem. Dang, okay. And I have to make his head straight. Like this is not even. Oh, it's more even than I thought. It's just it looks funny. Just fixing the curve here. Hmm. I often don't get stylistic enough. So maybe that's part of my problem. What is, am I just, yeah, okay. So it's even up and down. It's not even left and right. There we go, something like that. Hey Arnold on Paramount Plus. Yeah, okay. Gosh, I'm like, oh, big nose, that feels good. Little mouth. Okay, I know the eyes are wrong, but I don't know what they look like. I'm gonna do my best, like now that I've seen a few options, I'm gonna say this is my best guess. Like I don't, yeah, I don't know how common this type of eye was on Cartoon Network. Oh no, on Nickelodeon, but who knows? They're all different studios anyway. Or no, I guess they're not. Sometimes they are. Okay, skinny neck. Gosh, again, the I just like I think I know what he looks like because he says like move it football head and like I know he has blonde hair, so he must have hair that comes out like somewhere. Do that. I think his head's too tall, so we'll shrink that up a little. This is just a sketch, and then we'll get once we lay down some uh, ideas, some rules. Oh, a tree grow or a Negro? Oh, that is uh, inappropriate. Hmm. A human knee could be gross. I think my guess is his body is small, but not like too in-proportionate. This might be too like an adult proportioned body. Like this is Hey Arnold when he's turned into a librarian. It's got like a, hmm. I wonder, does he wear, whoa, does he wear shorts? Probably not, because it takes place in school time. Okay. I'm going to try to get more child proportioned. We'll move his waist up a little. I really have no idea. I'm trying to remember what he looked like in the banana to try to get like a, I just know they were standing on the side of the street and they rode a bus or something. All right. I'm going to lock this in because I don't want to. Oh, hi, gang. Uh, oh, I know how to pronounce his name. Nugent. I don't. I don't. I've. What is it? Win. I do like drawing. I always have liked drawing, but I used to feel like I did a really bad job, um, and it would make me stop early. And it wasn't until I started doing it every day and like didn't care if it was good or bad because it was just something I was doing so often that like if it was bad today, it would be good tomorrow probably, that I started to really enjoy it in a like every time, every day. Do you draw? If you draw in the chat, let me know. How often do you draw? That's a question I'm always curious about because I feel like for a long time I drew like once a month or once every like couple months even. Gosh, I don't know what his hands look like. I'm gonna do like ball hands. I know that's probably not right, but maybe it is. I have a tiny inclination it might be, and why not? Okay, I'm like starting to feel like this might actually look like Hey Arnold. I was not sure when we started, but I got enough down that I'm starting to think maybe this is right. No, that's not good. We'll do this. Oh yeah, we'll do it up. That's better. That'll be the brim. Eugene, I don't know. He is another kid in the school. Yeah, was it the baseball one? That's another one I remember where like it's summer and the road's closed or the road's not closed and they decide to play like stickball in the street. Rounders, sometimes it's called in different parts of New York. For some reason, I think he wears like a sweater. All right, this is pretty good. A distinct feature in his clothes. I'm trying to remember, like, I'm going to give him a distinct feature. I have no idea if it's right, but I mentioned this before, and maybe it's subconscious, but I said it's not like he's wearing shorts. And sometimes I say it's not like blank, 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 and then it's exactly like that. So I'm going to give him like basketball shorts. It's like, I don't know. This was like a thing New York kids used to do, at least kids in my area and like the around. And I never got it personally, but it was pretty common. So like maybe that. And then I was also thinking he had like a collared shirt, but I just think everyone has a collared shirt, I think. I'll do it. Why not? And then I can't think of any other distinct features to add as like to hedge my bets, but I think that's pretty good. He's not gonna like have a bag or anything. Here, since I'm giving him basketball shorts, we'll do we'll give him a basketball. Sometimes, so like here's something weird, right? I'm gonna turn this canvas so that I can better do a circle. And that doesn't make any sense because it's a circle. It shouldn't matter which direction it's facing. But especially with the electronic pen and stuff, electronic pen. Oh man. Especially with the tablet, the graphics tablet, it's much easier for me on some orientations to draw a circle. Like, why? That's so weird. But there, like that came out pretty good, and it was coming out terrible the other way. All right, basketball, collared shirt. I wonder if it's a jersey. Would he look normal with a jersey? I said he didn't have short sleeves because it takes place during school, but does it? Yeah, move it, football head. So I'm drawing Hey Arnold from scratch. I have aphantasia, which means I have no visual imagination. So if you're like, this is so easy to remember, why can't this guy remember? That's why. Um, After I do the drawing, I'll give him a little color, and then we will see if how right I am. So if you don't remember Hey Arnold, I encourage you to play along at home. Try to see. I'm going to give him a long sleeve shirt under a short sleeve shirt. Like, I know this was not something that was probably in cartoons, but he's looking more like a cartoon character to me as I've moved away from my original outfit I gave him. If you do remember Hey Arnold, I would encourage you, please don't say anything in the chat about what he actually looks like. But if you are also guessing, feel free to guess. Hey T1 Funds, because that is also fun. Okay, I'm gonna give him some ink, not tattoos. I'm gonna do some hard outlines and get underway with the coloring. I think we've before you look it up, I will say okay, yeah, for sure. That'd be great. Yeah, if you think you really know, then hold off until we're ready to reveal. Okay. So normally I would do this. I say normally, I do it a lot now on the computer, but I did a lot of inking, which is like this, where you go over um, pencils or sketch with hard lines. I learned to do it with like a dip pen and on paper. I don't know why I did it. I decided to use a dip pen instead of like felt tips or stuff. I did learn how to do it with those too, but I generally prefer the dip pen. It's a little bit messier, a little bit less control, but I like it. It gives a different that messier, more control is not a bad thing, or less control is not a bad thing. Gotta get this basketball in. I think it's harder to do on the computer, but you have more tools to make it better. So like this circle, for instance, I could pull out the circle maker and make it a perfect circle. Stuff like that. Like that's a tool I have access to on the computer. And like, I guess you could bust out a compass for the pencil part of the drawing if you did it by hand on paper. But the ink part is a little bit more work to get a ink compass going. Okay, there we go. I like, okay, that's his basketball, his jersey. I want to make sure. Sometimes I accidentally let the drawing like wander off camera. So I'm just trying to make sure I do that. One thing that changed my abilities on the computer was just feeling free to move the canvas in whichever orientation was going to work best for me. Okay, there's one other thing that I was thinking about really early, and I was like, there's no way he has this, but I'm going to add it because we have an instigator in the chat who's telling me he has a crazy, um, you know, whatever. He's going to have pants. But anyway, I got it. I got it. Okay, this is pretty good. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you can tell. For people who are new, I'm drawing Hey Arnold from my memory. So if he looks familiar but not quite familiar, that's because I did a bad job. After I'm done coloring him, I will reveal to myself what he looks like actually, and that'll be fun. Oh man, I did all that work to make his ears even, and then it just got away from me anyway. Here's what I'll do. I'll just move it down a little. And kind of fudge around it. We'll get the ears in the right spots. We'll get the ears in the right spots, and we'll figure out the rest. Ugh. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. He goes, move it, football head. Hey, Arnold. Do they yell it? I feel like they yell the theme, the title at the end of the theme song. Oh man, his neck is too big. I'm gonna make his neck smaller. Okay, let's twist it to get the proper, I can pull it. I always find pulling is a little bit better than, whoops, added white by accident. A little bit better than, what is going on? Okay, I think it's back to regular. Every once in a while I hit a button. I have no idea what it does or why it's done something. And then like I'm just in a totally weird spot doing something strange. It happens less and less as I've gotten more and more comfortable using Photoshop, have more and more experience, I guess, because I just know what it is now. I've like learned all sorts of stuff, but it still happens even though I've been using Photoshop for like 20 years. All right. Got his hair. Okay. Oh, we have to get his other pupil. All right. Oh, and then the um, the thing I was thinking about adding. I think he has. I used to know what this was called. Uh, a propeller. Yeah, I think he has a propeller on top of his head. And if not, maybe he should have. All right. Here we go. Hey, Arnold. Oh, yeah, I wanted to move his wonky head down a little bit. Okay, a little rough around the edges. The head shape is a little weird. I mean, obviously, but it's... Oh, thank you, Cassius. Welcome, welcome. Oh, but, yeah, that's the whole point. Oh, thank you so much, Yukari. Hello, Cassius. Yeah, a bunch of chats just came in. Hello, David. All right, so we will... Yeah, it's a little messy, but that's okay. We're just making something super clean is not the point today. Remembering and being embarrassed how much you forgot about a cartoon that you watched as a kid is the point today. That's correct. All right. Oh, thank you so much. All right, we got to get some colors down. So one thing I definitely remember is he had very blonde hair. Oh, so I hope. I always say I definitely remember, and sometimes I'm just not right at all. So let's get some hair down. I think I'll just do solid colors. Sometimes I go a little bit more um, detailed on the coloring, but today's not that day. Or this guy's not that guy anyway. Move it, football head. I just still have that stuck in my head. Helga. I know I'm afraid that I'm mistaking this blonde, like, shoot that I'm putting on Arnold here with Helga's hair, which I'm pretty sure has big, like, um, shafts. What is it called? Wheat, like, I don't, I think it might be not chaff, but like something like that. Sheaf, sheaf of wheat. I don't know. Okay, the interior of the hat is all connected, so that's good. We will use a, what color? Let's do blue, and we'll give it a red um, highlights or something. Okay. Oh, wait. Ah, okay. Blue is good, and then we'll do a red brim. Let's move that to a different layer so I don't get stuck. Whoops, whoopsie. All right. And I don't know, not yellow. Let's do green for the propeller. I think the more I think about it, the more I think the propeller's silly, but I had this like feeling that he had one right in the beginning. So I might as well put it in, right? What am I doing here if I'm not following my intuition? Do a basketball, which is basketball colored. We could put texture on here and that could be fun. Am I in a different layer? No, but I'll make a new layer. I'm trying to think how easy it would be and therefore if it's worth doing. Not really. Whoa, I totally missed his sleeve. What? Oh man, it's doing this again where it's, for some reason it's on a, I don't know how to undo this. It's so strange. There it is. It's happening again. All right, it's not happening now. Who knows? Missed that sleeve. Am I frozen? Nope. I missed that sleeve and I'll pull the shirt in a little bit to make the sleeve look better. I think Helga is pretty good. I like the bully who's afraid to leave the stoop, or stoop kid. The grandparents, especially grandpa, is also pretty great. I, Gerard, Gerard, Jared. Hmm. Gerald. Can't remember his name. Okay, get rid of the sketch again. That's a little bit better. Let's do, I don't care for the shirt. Who knows? It could be any color. We can do the bucket again. Probably not green. I don't know. Let's try red. Probably not red. Let's try orange. Hello, Bera. Welcome from Turkey. I am drawing Hey Arnold, or trying to, from memory. I don't know if you've seen the show. It's old, from the 90s. Gosh, I'm looking at all these colors. None of them look right. I'm going to go with that. I don't know. And we'll do gray for the arms, I guess. Gray for the arms. He's a little muted, but that's all right. I think we'll do red for the basketball shorts, because basketball shorts are often brightly colored. So, okay, or that's fine. All right, and we'll do we'll do yellow for the shoes. I am at a total loss for color on this guy, so I am just going with whatever. Sometimes I get a feeling about what it should be. This time I got nothing. We'll get his skin. Yeah, go for it. What's the distinct thing you remember? we'll change this color a little bit. It's too dark, I think. That's not flesh toned enough. Okay. This is my best guess for Hey Arnold. This just told me it lost me. And it came back. So you might have lost me for a second. Oh, so it looks like he's wearing like a plaid. Okay, well, we'll see. So interesting. Okay, let me bring up this guy, bring up that guy. Hey, Arnold. Images. Okay, tiny little hat. So I was right the first time. Big, crazy hair. Okay, you guys can see this. I'm trying to find a full body one. All right. Copy image. Let's go. Okay. Man, his head is, I have it like kind of upside down. He is much simpler than I thought. He does wear a collar. I was saying I thought he wore a collar and I wanted to put one in. And I was like, no, that's silly. He's a kid. But of course, it was the 90s, plaid. Not great, not terrible. Don't hate it, don't love it. It's not my worst, it's not the worst of times. Why does this keep happening? There's something wrong. I'm going to restart Photoshop while we give this a spin because this is acting a fool. Okay, let me save this guy. Call it Hey Arnold, etc. I'm going to restart Photoshop. We'll bring up the spin ball. All right. Yeah. So I see that people thought it was a skirt. You think Arnold was your favorite, or Hey Arnold was your favorite cartoon? Ah, let's see. Perfect. So small. Okay, I'm almost ready. We'll give the wheel a spin. If anyone has any cartoons that they would like me to put on the wheel that maybe will come up, I mean, it might come up on the next spin, but more likely will come up another time. That would be great. I think I would even put ones back on that I'd already done after a while, if I had done them long enough ago. I think that would make sense. Oh, and I just got to make sure Photoshop is back connected with Photoshop. I mean, with the streaming service, this. Hey, Bill. Is Captain Caveman? Captain Caveman is a thing. I can definitely do Captain Caveman. I will put him on there. He is from, I believe, the 60s or maybe early 70s. And I think he's in with like a bunch of other superheroes, maybe even like the Justice League, but or at least the Wonder Twins, but I might be misremembering that. That might just be something crazy. So no, it's still doing this weird thing. Hmm. Oh, thanks, Bill. I'm using OBS, so I can't really click through or anything right now. But if you're I'll check your channel out when I get the notification. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm just trying to get we're going to spin this in a second. I'll put Captain Caveman on there. I had to restart Photoshop. It was giving me some sort of trouble, and it did not even do the job. So Oh, no. Okay, that's that one. Perfect. So what's... All right, that should be good. Let's give it a spin. Oh yeah, Bill, let us know what's a good question. Oh, let me add Captain Caveman. All right. Time for the spin. I always get nervous at this, which is so silly because like it's gonna be what it is. Oh, cool. This is Leonardo da Vinci from Futurama. No, no, I'm just kidding. This is Leonardo from the famous Turtles. That's interesting. I loved the Ninja Turtles as a kid, the cartoon. So I'm going with the like 80s cartoon because that's what I'm gonna know. Let's get the sketch down. Let's see where we are. Okay, grab a pencil. Ba ba da ba. And I'm just gonna do some. This is Leonardo, so we'll do. Oh yeah, but that I just know because it was a factoid, like that you could easily remember. As I, well, for me, I could easily remember, and I love knowing them apart. This is something I do to tell people apart, is I remember like things they have or what they wear on a regular basis because of I have face blindness along with my aphantasia, and so I just did it with the turtles also. Oh, it disconnected. This is, I don't know why it's doing this. I think it's YouTube. All my stuff should be very good. Sorry, I disconnected. That's terrible. Yeah, so I always remembered which Ninja Turtle was which color. I I went through stages where I liked different ones. I knew exactly what their weapons were. One thing I found out recently-ish is that in the UK, if you grew up in America, you have Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Raphael, and they were the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you grew up in the UK, you had the same turtles, but they were the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Apparently, there's like they ban a lot of bladed weapons with the Asian um, cultural weapons. They ban mentions of ninjas, or they used to, because they think that it encourages violence, especially. And they have a big history or culture of that type of censorship or control. It's actually, I grew up in New York, and New York has similar. There's a lot of like not you can obviously say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but like nunchucks are banned for being especially violent, and sais are banned for considered to be especially violent. Um, just a lot of little things like that. Okay, once again, I'm doing Leonardo. I'm gonna. This was just meant to get the main um, shape down. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm pretty happy with it, more or less. I'm gonna make his legs the same length. I think this one's probably a little long, but I like it better. Oh, thanks, Elstefan. This is a lot of my friends don't watch me draw or don't know how often I draw, and then they will jump on a live stream and they will say the same thing. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, where did that come from?" And I used to be able to illustrate something well, but it would take me a long time. And over the last like year and a half, I've gotten much, much faster. Okay, I think this is pretty good. I think maybe I've had his head and his neck are a little crooked, but I don't want to be too particular. Sometimes I do get too detail oriented, and sometimes not enough. It's a hard thing to remember. So Leonardo is blue, Donatello is purple, Raphael is red, and Michelangelo is orange. Uh, in the UK, another factoid, Michelangelo's weapon was changed and they re-edited the show and reanimated bits of it. And he, instead of having nunchucks, he had a grappling hook. Um, there's been a lot of analysis on the Ninja Turtles that their weapons were also made to match their personalities. Uh, Leonardo is the leader, and his weapon is the katana, which is all about preciseness and control, decisiveness. Um, Donatello is like the smart, nerdy one, and his weapon is the bow, and it's all about like uh, being smart with your moves, it's not relying as much on violence or force. It's more about like careful and purposeful strikes, well thought out strikes. You have um, Michelangelo, who's sort of a loose cannon, but he's not dumb or ineffective. He's just kind of all over the place. Has a lot of excitement, un unfocused uh, energy, and so he has the nunchucks. And then you have Raphael, who's a hothead, and his weapon is the sai, which is mainly about disarming your opponent and um, avoiding. That's all I know. Mainly defensive and disarming your opponent. Okay, I don't think he's going to have anything in this hand. The Ninja Turtles love pizza, so that's good. I ended up doing a two-finger turtle. I bet you that depending on the comic or the show, they have been one finger and two finger. So I don't feel bad about making it two finger. Yes, I've heard this a lot. I think Michelangelo, because he's the impulsive, like non-professional one, I think like a lot of the times when they go on a mission or go do something, Michelangelo might be the still carrying a slice of pizza with him because he will like be like, all right, let's go. And everyone else has already eaten. And Michelangelo's like finishing his soda and scarfing down an extra slice as they head out to do their whatever. But they all really like pizza. Um, I think they often talk about different toppings, but yeah, pizza is, they all like it. I think also Michelangelo might be the first one to move on from a situation. So, like, if they just had a hard time, they get back to base, and they're like, a lot of them are like, oh man, this is really terrible. And Michelangelo will be like, let's get some pizza. Just like, so I think he probably comes across as liking pizza more, but I think it's just his personality. He's more likely to bring it up and more likely to have one, like a slice left over. But there's a lot of times, one time, yeah, there's a lot of times. Maybe he likes food like more or eating more than anybody else. I think that's Oh, maybe he likes pizza more than all the other ones, but it's not a huge discrepancy. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I wonder, should they be wearing, should he be wearing, I'm gonna give him sandals. I know they don't wear sneakers, but I bet you they wear sandals. Michelangelo mostly says cowabunga. That's definitely mostly Mikey. Um, yeah, I don't think the other ones say it that often, but they might say it. But yeah, that is mostly Mikey. And like that was just a thing people used to say. I guess it's like surf culture. They're kind of like New York City surfer dudes, which like is an interesting contradiction. Hmm. Somebody pointed out that Elmo, Grover, there's another name, and Kermit were all like relatively common, normal names until Sesame Street came out. And then like people stopped naming their kids those. And I just thought that's really funny. There must be so much stuff like that that didn't get didn't stop being said or used because it was unpopular. It just stopped being said or used because it was associated with something like non-serious, and then like that's too much. Okay, I think I did too much on the sandals, but I think this is all right. I'm gonna start. I'm having some weird. It's opening the blending options. I don't know how. Oh, hey Aiden. Hello, how are you? I'm drawing a Ninja Turtle. It you're about to find out which one. I think we will do solid color on this. Oh, I forgot. I'm inking. I was going to do color, but that's not the actual. Okay, we're going to lay down some solid lines, get some ink going. Ninja Turtles were something I used to draw as a kid. Or not the whole Ninja Turtle, but their faces. I really was fascinated with the idea that they wore masks that were like tied like bandanas and how that looked on screen because they would have like just a little knot and then like these like tails would just they would always be two and they'd always just come out from the knot and that's just something really when I was drawing really young that's something I messed around with and I learned how to draw. It felt so funny to me that it's something so simple like that's not how a knot looks. I think I really was interested in like masks and how they appeared on superheroes. One thing I remember about Ninja Turtles is like it's their heads are kind of designed as if whoever made their heads knew they were going to be wearing masks there. But like that's not really super weird because like a lot of animals have like a indent around the eyes. So I don't know. I just thought a lot about this as a a strange kid watching Ninja Turtles. Oh, and their mouth shapes. Man, they had a lot of great mouth shapes, Ninja Turtles did. I actually, as a couple years ago, I got the big Ninja Turtles collection that they published from the library and read like so many of the comics. I had never really read the comics. I think I had seen one or two, but I had never read them. They're pretty good. The modern ones, I guess the older ones are all, they might have recolored them, but the older ones are pretty violent and they're black and white. Uh, the newer ones is toned down a little bit. I guess like with the cartoon shows and stuff, they have a younger audience, and so they probably keep that in mind when they do the newer comics. You don't want, if your audience is young kids, you don't want to turn them away. But then I think there was like Ninja Turtles, like what was the name of the comic? It was Ninja Turtles. Well, I don't know, like Absolute or something. It's not that, but something like that. And it was like a run of more adult Ninja Turtles, more like back in the day. I don't think I've read any of the original run of the Turtles now that I'm thinking about it, but maybe I have. I'd have to look. I always thought it would be interesting. I liked in the cartoon, the 80s cartoon, they had Bebop and Rocksteady, and they're transformed from different animals. And I always like imagined what animal, or they get transformed and they get turned into different animals. And I was always like curious. It seemed like in the cartoon it was based on their personality, and I always wondered like what personality, like what people would turn into what animals based on the personality. Ooh, another tidbit that I remember of a factoid about the Ninja Turtles is the ooze that turned them in and Master Splinter into humanoid, because the Ninja Turtles were animals first. And some continuities, they are animals, like four turtles and a rat, that are all kept in a cage together. And while they are the animals in the cage, they learn karate because they live with a scientist who knows karate. And then they get transformed into humanoid animals and they continue to learn karate. Um, but they're animals first. And so I think that's interesting. I don't think there's very many superheroes that are animals turned into humanoid people. Uh, I mean, you have Rocket Raccoon, that's another one that comes to mind. His is a little bit more tragic of a backstory. And yeah, that's the only one I can think of. Let me know in the comments if you know one. It's funny, I think that disconnect really did us in. I think there's not many people here. If you're here, you're a champ. Please like it so that if you like it, don't lie. so that other people can see it. Yeah, since the disconnect, we've lost all of our viewers. If you're seeing this in the future, hey, like and subscribe. You're really cool. If you're seeing this on Shorts, you won't hear this at all because we replace the audio when I do it on Shorts. Whoop, the last one got 2. Yeah, so my internet service dropped out. And did I finish the factoid? Oh, no. The ooze, I'm not going to put the sandals on. I know that they do sometimes wear these types of sandals, but they're like a type of Japanese sandal. But I don't. It's not. Is the same ooze that blinded um, Daredevil. That's interesting. Basically, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were an indie comic. They weren't from the big two. And so they just wrote in that it was the same truck that blinded Daredevil. Like some of that ooze spilt. They just described the same car accident, and they were like, and some of that ooze spilt down into the sewer and got our friendly turtles and lab rat. And like it was just left that way, and it's now canon on. I don't know if it's canon if Marvel ever canonized it, but probably they're relatively cool like that. Okay, let's see without the sketch. Looking pretty good. Not great. I'm gonna leave the sketch in. Looking very good. All right, let's do some color. Bum ba da bum, bum ba da bum. I think I think we'll do this right away, and everyone will know what turtle this is. It's Donatello. Just kidding. So I have aphantasia, which means I have no visual imagination or memory, and that's why it's interesting that I'm drawing cartoons from memory. They don't usually go this well. I mean, listen, maybe I've made a total terrible mistake, but I don't think so. I Ninja Turtles is probably one of the properties that I've seen more than anything else. It was my favorite show as a little kid. I don't know if it was my absolute favorite, but it was way up there. I had Ninja Turtle toys. I tried to draw Ninja Turtles like well before I ever had any real interest in drawing. Um, I just really liked them. So I'm pretty sure. Hi, Maddie. I'm pretty sure I did an okay job with this guy. I'm just gonna give him a little color. I don't remember why they're named after the Renaissance masters or if there's any lore about that, but I think that's cool. This is a good question. Which Marvel superhero would I be if I could choose any and why? So I really like, it depends on how much of your story, of their story you get. Because I really like Gwenpool, who is kind of like Deadpool. Uh, Hi, Ronnie. And so she gets a lot of fourth wall breaking powers, and she knows about plot armor and stuff. And she can then also like change how the story she's in is written, which is a pretty powerful superpower. Basically, she has reality warping powers. So I would think her, but she has like a really sad. She got transported into the Marvel world, and she's actually from our world, and like she doesn't have any friends or family there now. And so that's kind of a sad, if that's how you have to get your powers, that sucks. And then the last writer to write her turned her into a mutant, which is weird. Uh, so maybe that's not her backstory anymore. I don't know. So that's pretty good. Yeah. I think I'm gonna choose her. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head, and I think that would be good. My favorite DreamWorks movie. I think it's probably an earlier one. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say something one, and then I'm gonna remember a different DreamWorks movie later, and that's Toy Story 3 is really, really excellent. What? Oh my God, Pixar. Yeah, isn't Pixar DreamWorks now? But okay. I'm drawing a blank on DreamWorks. I can now imagine the logo. I can't imagine it. I know it's a boy sitting on the moon, right? Fishing. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Kung Fu Panda is one of the best movies. So that's good. But and then if it's DreamWorks, they have tons of non-animated films, right? But here, we'll do DreamWorks animated films. Let's see. Yeah, Ants. I don't think that's good. Road to El Dorado. It's fine. Shrek is astounding. So I might say Shrek. Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Good movie. Kung Fu Panda. It's Kung Fu Panda or Shrek for me. Shrek 1. I haven't seen Puss in Boots, although I've been meaning to watch it. Uh, oh, I didn't know they did Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It's from, oh, and Danny Elfman did the music. Gotta watch that. Yep, I'm gonna say Shrek. No, I just saw Flushed Away on the list. Would you recommend? We'll have to see where it's streaming, but I'll put it on the. I'll at least watch the trailer. Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to. Pardon me. I wanted to see the Wild Robot also. I don't know if this is the right. Whoa, not that color. We'll do this. It's the same color I did for the. We can change it. We can change it. Let's do. Let's get in here. Let's see if we can do highlighting. so we don't have to, I don't want to color each individual section here. So if I can get in and highlight it and do it that way, that'd be really good. But what that means is they have to be actually closed off. Oh, wait, this might help. I can turn this one off. Then get the highlighter. Say sample all layers. There we go. This is working. Is that one going to lose it? Hi, aliens draw. Alien draws. I'm generally good at drawing. I'm not great at drawing without a reference, which is what I'm doing here, and I'm drawing things from my terrible memory. But I think people tell me I'm good at drawing. I'm starting to believe it. Whoops, gotta get it on a new layer. There we go. So I'm going in and I am blocking off all these, which will make it nice and easy to grab them as solid chunks and just not photo bucket, paint bucket them. Yep. This is something I do a lot. I don't know why I don't just connect them when I first do it, but that's fine. This is the last one. Gonna have some delicious dinner. Does anyone else eat dinner? Is that a... You guys eat dinner? Ay, ay, ay. All right. I'm getting a little punchy. What the heck? It's saying it's connected to that. That's insane. Okay, let's try again. Why? Oh, I found it. Doit. Okay. Yep, okay. Do that one. We'll do this one. It froze. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I know any more factoids about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Their main enemy is Krang. He's a brain. He's from like Dimension X, where they're all brains. Um, hmm. It's really stuck. Yeah, it doesn't. It's interesting. It doesn't look like it should have any problems. I'm not using any memory. Hmm. Oh, it's back now. Okay. Okay, that one gets out into the wild somehow. Let's see if it's that. Nope, I found it. It's right there. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can finally paint them green. Ha! Yeah, true strike. This is not Raphael. Could you imagine I thought I was doing Raphael? I mean, I thought I was doing Leonardo, but I was actually doing Raphael. I thought this green would be not that good, but it's fine. And then we'll do a yellowish green for the... Actually, let's do like yellowy yellow. Yellowy orangey. Eh, yellowy orangey. Yep, there we go. Yellowy orangey OB. Okay. That's pretty good. This is like yellow, yellow, orange, not yellow, orange. In case everyone was curious. We'll move it down a couple. And then let's do brown for the handles. My slider brown isn't working. There we go. I'm in with the shell. I don't think that's going to matter. Okay. This is Donatello. Donatello, I'd say least famous Ninja Turtle, least famous Renaissance Ninja Turtle namesake, yeah. Oops. Which, like, I still don't know who Donatello is, and 100% I have looked it up. Oh, he did a sculpture called David, but Michelangelo's David is just so much more famous. It's real poor Donatello, actually. It's kind of like, I don't know why. I think this has a little orange edge. Okay, that's it. Let's look them up. Yeah. No, I think Michelangelo's David is Donatello's David, but better. Okay, so in my mind, I was thinking, and I should have said this, I was thinking, I thought there was more blue than just his mask, but I was like, what else could it be? And so I just didn't do anything else. But now, like, of course, they have like armbands and stuff. And yeah, the belt. I did not remember the belt. Mm. Alas, I did pretty good. I could have had more shell coming up out the top. Oh, crap. Alas, I did pretty good. I could have had more shell coming out the top. Right, this could have been, whoop, that's not. Could have had like shell here. And then that would have done good for the swords coming out the back. I definitely could have had some, um, just get all the way to the top. Some knee pads. Oof. Sometimes you go back and you look and your proportions are so funny. Sometimes I go back and I look and my proportions are so terrible, is what I'm trying to say. Some knee pads. I did 2 toes, 2 fingers, so that was good. Uh, I got the right weapon. I got Okay, so I was curious. I made this more like a real turtle, but his is just like it's like a muscle suit almost. It's like he he still has turtle all around it instead of connecting to shell, which is funny because that's not how turtles like his shell would connect in the front and the back. All right. Yeah, I think I did pretty good. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you next time. I will probably not stream tomorrow, but Saturday, Sunday, look out. Here I come. All right. Thanks. Bye.